Good morning and welcome back to another episode. Now this morning I found out something incredibly important, and that is that today is John Williams's 85th birthday. The legendary composer behind films from E.T. to Indiana Jones, from Star Wars to Jaws, with Peter Pan somewhere in the middle. This guy is a movie legend, a composing legend, and someone who's sort of defined the soundscape of, in particular, I suppose, adventure and wonder for so many people for my entire lifetime. He was working before I was born, and hopefully he's going to keep on working long into the future. And I figured, well, why not just reflect on this? This week is a very busy week for me. I've started 2 series of lectures that I'm going to be delivering over the next couple of months with different classes. In an hour's time, I'm going to be talking to an archaeology group. On Friday, I'm filming and editing 2 interviews, and this afternoon I've got a whole load of editing to do as well on another interview. So I figured this morning I would just take a moment to reflect on the great man, and in particular, because this is Archaea Soup, one of his greatest themes, and that is the Indiana Jones theme. Now, I can't play it for you because it will be instantly sort of whoosh, flagged by YouTube for copyright reasons, but I can possibly let you hear it via my good friend here, Mr. Potato Head. Mr. Potato Head, take it away, will you? Perfect. Thank you very much, Mr. Potato Head. Isn't he wonderful? I absolutely love this guy. Yes, that was the sort of the marching Raiders theme, first obviously brought to our screens and our ears during the wonderful Raiders of the Lost Ark. And it's a piece of music which is in so many ways perfect. When we hear it, we think of adventure, we think of obviously action, but we also think of wonder. And actually, in particular, I love the way that different parts of that piece of music and the themes therein can be played with in different ways to achieve very specific effects. So, for example, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, where Indy has hijacked a truck, and there's this famous scene where he's battling with the driver. The driver punches Indy out of the window, and he's he's holding on to the Mercedes-Benz logo as it bends, and and he falls down in front of the truck. They think he's about to be run over, but then he sort of makes his way underneath. And then he sort of uses his whip to be dragged behind the truck, and then he makes his way back onto the truck along the side, and then makes his way back into the cab, and eventually sort of, maneuvers the truck so that he can get away. That entire scene is underscored by a slowly building march. Dum 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 da 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 dum 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 da 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 dum 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 da da da. And every now and then you get this sort of da 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 da, and it builds so masterfully that it feels like it's a step by step, almost sort of trudging, dragging your way through a situation, sort of sound, and then not so much triumphant, but as soon as he starts to sort of get a handle on things, that's when you get the dun dun dun. He's starting to make his way to the front. You start to think, yes, he's going to do it, he's going to do it, he's going to do it. He's done it, and he's beating up the guy who shot him in the arm, and he throws him out the front, and off he goes. The music is really, in so many ways, what makes Indiana Jones great, and the same goes, for example, for the other big one, I suppose, is Star Wars. George Lucas famously said to John Williams, "Look, I haven't got a very big movie here. I got this little space project. I need you to make it sound like $1 million." And John Williams delivered, with the Star Wars theme, with also the gentleness of that theme, the way it starts with a flute, for example, as it sort of lowers down, and then we get the spaceship coming in over the top. It is just masterful. He is a masterful composer. One of my favourite composers that I know. He lives and works locally. He said that John Williams is one of the most underrated classical musicians, in so much as people seem to some people seem to dismiss him because he composes for movies. But if you think about it, operas were the movies of their day, and people rave about Wagner. And I think in the future, Williams will be held in very. I mean, he already is obviously held in high esteem, but he will be rightly celebrated. He'll continue to be celebrated, and so I just thought I'd just take a moment just to think about that and just to revel in it. And I mean, my first exposure to the Indiana Jones music really was in the first film that I saw, which was The Last Crusade. The first film that I really watched over and over again. This is because we recorded it off the TV, and my brother and I, we would watch it so much that the tape eventually sort of warped on the machine. The music actually, ironically enough, became very warbly. But the music there, it's his use of shrill tones, which draws you into it. Also, for example, the mystery of something. He'll have a minimalist soundtrack when you're going into, say, a dark area or some sort of temple or something, and then there'll be a shrill tone or a noise, which indicates again this sort of sense of mystery, but it's never overly scary. It's again, it just pulls you in with the adventure. John Williams is a joyful composer, and I think this is one of the reasons why people flock to him, because he even when he composes something which is scary or which is sad, you're with him. He's in the warmer range, as it were, of both tonality, but also I think in terms of personality. And I think that's why his music shines. And of course, in The Last Crusade, I also again particularly remember it's the action scenes. It's the way the score is masterfully matched, in particular to this sort of building up of action. And I think were it not for John Williams, so much of the I suppose the rhythm of those scenes and the way that we remember them and the way that we revel in them would be lost, if it all simply wouldn't have happened. So this morning I was dropping off Mrs. Soup at work, and on the radio they were celebrating John Williams. They played the Superman theme for Richard Donner's movie. They played some music from Star Wars Episode 2, I think, the sort of the love theme between Anakin and Padme, and also just as I pulled up to the house, they were playing some music from Peter Pan. And I just thought, why not just talk about how much that guy is the man. He's just has been so important for my love of movies, but also, for example, Indiana Jones. Obviously I quite like Indiana Jones, and just wanted to point it out. Happy birthday, Mr. John Williams, and just thank you so much for a wonderful selection and a wonderful pantheon, wonderful sort of godlike library of musical scores. I'm sure there'll be other people out there who love John Williams' music. If you want to comment below, please do comment below. And of course, I know that I am sometimes, for example, on the Archaeo Suit Facebook page, I sometimes sort of comment about how, oh, look, this journalist is invoking Indiana Jones again when talking about archaeology. In particular, they seem to, surrounding the work of Sarah Parcak and her space archaeology, the satellite archaeology. That they'll sort of say, have you ever wanted to be Indiana Jones? This is your chance. You can use your laptop to be an archaeologist. And that just feels like lazy reporting. It feels like actually they're not bothering to keep up with what's happening now in the world of archaeology, and also what is frankly what the story that they're writing about is about, and how there is this mystery to be solved without invoking Indiana Jones. But at the same time, you can totally see why they do it, and that is because Indiana Jones is such an icon, and he's an icon because of John Williams' music. It's as simple as that. Anyway, guys, as ever, until next time, do take care. I'm going to rush off and deliver this talk on archaeology. Bye-bye.